In Greece, Argylle, a British spy, readies himself to strike at his target, Lagrange, a notorious terrorist. As they share a fleeting dance, tension hangs thick in the air. Suddenly, Lagrange signals her assassins to aim their weapons at Argylle as she collects his weapon, plunging the scene into peril. Desperately, Argylle reaches out to his partner Kira, who swiftly employs her technological prowess to engineer an escape plan. But just as hope flickers, Lagrange corners Argylle and Kira while on a motorcycle, as she fires at them, striking Kira in the chest, and takes off. As Argylle struggles to save his wounded comrade, he is given instruction to stay on the target as help would be coming for Kira. Argylle pursues Lagrange with a vehicle as he moves through the roofs of houses to enable him to catch up with the target, but he is unable to. He frantically calls upon Wyatt, their trusted ally, to apprehend Lagrange before she vanishes into the shadows. With breathtaking agility, Wyatt majestically catches her while on motion. Together, Argylle and Wyatt interrogate Lagrange, only to uncover a startling revelation: she serves a man named Fowler, their very own employer. Before the truth can fully surface, Lagrange resorts to poison, leaving Argylle questioning the loyalty of those around him. Now, amidst the chaos, he grapples with the unsettling realization of betrayal lurking within their own ranks. The spotlight shifts to a woman named Elly Conway, the esteemed author behind the gripping Argylle book series that the character originates from, as the entire scene was from the last chapter of the 4th book in the series. After answering some questions about her book, a man asks if she has plans tonight, trying to ask her out, but she disappoints him, indicating she has a hot date with her book. She later goes to her private cabin with her pet cat Alfie so that she can begin to write the 5th book. She spends the evening writing the whole thing, thinking she has completed it before going to bed. The next morning, Elly receives a call from her mother, Ruth, who stayed up all night reading the manuscript Elly had sent her. Ruth compliments the book overall but expresses dissatisfaction with the ending, labeling it a cop-out. Motivated to improve the closure, Elly begins brainstorming new chapters. Despite her efforts to envision various scenarios for a better conclusion for Argylle, she struggles to come up with a satisfying resolution. Elly makes a spur-of-the-moment decision to embark on a train journey to Chicago with her faithful companion Alfie, to visit her mother, Ruth, who offers to assist Elly in completing her book. On the train, she is approached by a man named Aiden Wild who looks unkempt, and he disturbs her cat. He pretends to be a fan of Elly's before informing her there are people on the train who are targeting her. Moments later, a fan comes by with a knife disguised as a pen, forcing Aiden to jump into action and start fighting assassins while Elly tries to hide, though she visualizes Argylle himself in Aiden's place. One of the assassins is a man named Carlos, whom Elly recognizes earlier from the book reading as a supposed fan. Aiden then takes Elly to the end of the train where he blasts the doors off and parachutes with her, and Alfie, out of the train, where she passes out midair. When Elly wakes up, Aiden has cut his hair and reveals he took her to a cabin. He informs her that the assassins come from a sinister organization called the Division, led by Director Ritter. They believe that Elly's books predict certain events in their line of work, and they have already read her manuscript for Book 5 and are waiting on her to write the final chapter. Ritter is shown executing his deputy director for failing to apprehend Elly, and reacquiring a master file that can expose all agents of the Division. Furthermore, the character of Wyatt is based off of Aiden, while Kira was a real person who apparently really did die. Aiden brings Elly, and Alfie, along with him to find an informant named Bakunin, who is going to deliver the master file to him. Hoping to get an idea of where to find Bakunin, Aiden convinces Elly to get on a plane. Despite her fear of heights, she gets on board as she is convinced it's better than being killed by the spy organization. After landing, Aiden convinces Elly to start writing the next chapter, which Ritter and his men listen in on because some fans record Elly on their phones while she is on her laptop. The duo are led to an apartment supposedly belonging to Bakunin. They find nothing but an opening under the floorboards, where Aiden finds a book with information written by Bakunin. Soon, Division assassins start making their way toward the building, leading to Elly and Aiden hiding under the floorboards. After a while of searching, Alfie makes a sound that draws attention, leading Aiden to spring out from underneath to start killing the assassins. Elly intermittently visualizes Aiden as Argylle while fighting and defeating the bad guys. Before more start coming, the two make their way to the roof as they jump off onto a stuffed crash, and take the speedboat to get out of their ugly situation. Aiden brings Elly to his place in London for safety. He goes into the bathroom and talks to his employer with the shower running, and Elly overhears Aiden saying that she is driving him nuts, and that she needs a bullet in her head. Fearing for her life, she grabs Alfie and contacts Ruth so that she can go to Chicago herself, seeing it's only her parents she trusts. She contacts her mom on a payphone and gives Ruth a heads up about all the troubles she's been going through. Ruth informs her that she and her dad would be on their way to a London hotel. Upon Elly's arrival, she reunites with Ruth before her father arrives, and it turns out to be Ritter. Elly receives a big hug from the two and is reassured that she will be fine. As Elly starts explaining, Ritter starts going through Elly's stuff, using his smart glasses to snap the content of Bakunin's book before Aiden arrives, taking Ritter hostage and telling Elly that these two are not her parents. After Ritter drops the dad act, Ruth, whose real name is Margaret Vogler, pulls a gun and speaks with a British accent, holds Elly at gunpoint. Aiden shoots her and knocks Ritter out before getting a horrified Elly out, unfortunately leaving Alfie behind. Aiden drives Elly to meet his employer, as she sulks in the lies her life has been. Aiden explains that she can trust him. She sees Argylle in the side mirror consoling her, explaining that things would be okay. It gives her the confidence to sleep off. In the morning, they both arrive at a barn in France, as they meet Alfred, Aiden's employer, who she named after her cat, Alfie. Here, Elly learns the real agent Argylle is none other than Elly herself. Her books were not predictions, but rather memories of her past life as a spy. Her real name is Agent Rachel Kill, and she lost her memory after a mission gone wrong. She walks out on Alfred and goes to meet Aiden, explaining that all that she was shown was a lie and that she is a writer. But Aiden jogs her memory by delivering a punch, but Elly blocks it and beats him hands down. Aiden explains that the division found her and wiped her memory. Ritter and Vogler got to Rachel before Aiden could, and they posed as her parents by brainwashing her, making her believe she was always an aspiring writer so that she could document her thoughts and eventually bring her down. They were hoping for the latest book to reveal the location of the master file. Alfred tells Elly and Aiden that the master file is in the possession of a division associate named Saba al-Bad, otherwise known as the Keeper, to which Elly gave them for safekeeping. She is scared to go on the mission to retrieve the file, but the two convince her otherwise. The pair travel to Arabia, where Elly must become Rachel once again. While waiting to speak to Saba at her compound, Aiden starts dancing with Elly, saying they used to be romantically involved as he missed her dearly. Elly is invited to Saba's office, where she acts well enough, which prompts Saba to give her the master file, a bullet-like flash drive containing the division's secret. The division manages to track down Elly and Aiden, capturing them and bringing them on board their large ship. Elly had just learned that she herself was an asset of the division. A flashback reveals that she had killed Bakunin before taking the master file, and the explosion triggered by his apartment self-destructing led to her memory loss. On board the ship, Ritter skillfully convinces Elly of her unwavering loyalty to the division, reminding her of the countless times she proved herself as their top agent. Elly, caught up in the moment, goes along with it. They both step into a room where Aiden is being tortured. The division wants to get a hold of Alfred as he is a deterrent to their mission. Elly interrogates Aiden, but he is unwilling to talk. In order to save herself, Elly shoots Aiden in the chest to make Ritter think she is on their side. She also has to pretend that she doesn't care for Alfie, who is in Ritter's custody. In reality, she shot him in a specific area so that the bullet would go through his chest but missing the heart, with survival being dependent on stopping the bleeding soon enough, something that Elly got from a fan theory on how Kira could have been brought back. Aiden gets free and kills his captors before going to help Elly. Ritter and Ruth escort Elly to a room in an attempt to extract information about Alfred's whereabouts. Eventually, Elly succeeds in locating Alfred and seizes the chance to sneak the master file into the division's server, sending the copy to Alfred. When Ritter and Ruth find out, Elly fights them off and goes to find Aiden. Ritter alerts all security personnel to locate and eliminate Elly. Coincidentally, Aiden encounters Elly in a weapons room as they prepare to fend off thugs on the ship. Feeling cornered, Elly and Aiden deploy colored gas to blind the guards and stylishly take them down one by one, showcasing their partnership and romantic bond. As the colored gas dissipates through the air vent and more guards approach, they escape through a vent leading to the ship's engine room. The guards in the engine room open fire, causing pipes to burst and crude oil to start leaking. Elly then remembers one of her memories being ice skating, so she straps some blades to her shoes and slides across the oil, slicing through the assassins before fighting Carlos, ending with her throwing a knife into his heart. She shoots the rest of the assassins before she and Aiden take out every last villain on the ship as a couple, with plenty of flair. They make it to the ship's control room to send the master file to Alfred, but Ritter aims his rifle at them. Alfie then lunges toward the villain and begins to claw at his face, giving Aiden a chance to shoot and kill Ritter. Unfortunately, Alfie clawed out his eyes, as a retinal skin was needed to complete the upload, but Aiden finds an alternate way. The duo begin uploading the file to Alfred, but Ruth shows up with a music box that mind controls Elly to try and kill Aiden, which also makes her put the upload on hold. Aiden fights Elly reluctantly, nearly dying until a masked assailant hops onto the ship and brains Ruth with a wrench, causing her to drop the music box, which shatters upon hitting the floor and severs Elly's mind control. The assailant is Kira, who survived her gunshot wound the same way Aiden survived his, because it turns out Kira was the one who suggested the theory to Elly. The three and Alfie send the rest of the master file and leave the ship to blow up, killing Ruth and anyone else left alive. Elly and Aiden also finally kiss. Elly returns to her author role and finishes book 5, giving Argylle a proper happy ending. She goes back to the bookstore for another reading, and a fan asks her what happened to the characters after the story. Elly says that, hypothetically, Alfred received high honors from the CIA for exposing the division, while Kira went to rise up in the tech field, and Elly and Aiden appear to be together. Before Elly ends things, another fan who looks much like a nerdier version of Elly's image of Argylle stands to ask a question, but also suggesting Elly might have questions for him, leaving her surprised. Subscribe if you enjoyed this video and also leave a like and comment. See you next time.